Hi, I'm Jeff DeGrow. I'm a retired deputy with the Charleston County Sheriff's Office. I was shot in line of duty in 2010 while chasing a burglary suspect on Grimble Road on James Island. It was January 21st, 2010. It was a rainy, cold winter afternoon. I responded to a burglary that had just occurred. I responded to the residence where I met with the victim and processed the scene. So after I left, I started canvassing the area, looking for any suspects. Again, there wasn't many people out because it was raining and it was very cold in January. I spoke to a couple people who were out and asked them if you see anybody walking through or running in the area, things of that nature. They said they hadn't. As time went on, I kind of came to the conclusion that nobody was in the immediate area. They could have left in a car, what have you. So I went to head back to the station to process some of the evidence. And as I did that, off a side road, I saw 4 subjects walking in the area. So as I turned on the road, I'm in a marked cruiser. They seen my vehicle and they immediately started running. I called out on the radio, said I have 4 running, possibly involved in the burglary.
County, I got 3 running. I don't know if it's involved with the burglaries or not.
They all went different directions. I was able to cordon off one person. He started running in a different direction, kind of in a wooded area where a trailer was. I exited my vehicle, started giving a foot chase. As he went around the corner of the building, we do what we call a quick peek, which is where we quickly peek around the corner, or cutting the pie is what we call it. So when I came around the corner of the building, he shot and it hit me in my right eye. I fell to the ground and with my right arm extended, and he stood over me and shot me 5 more times. It was a .22 caliber revolver, and so that's only 6 shots. So he emptied his gun on me. You can look up stories of people who have near-death experiences, and they usually say that I see a white light or something to that effect. Well, what I saw was a vision of, if you're ever in a church and you see a stained glass window of like Jesus, that's what I saw. And I could feel my spirit or my body ascending, and I knew that where I was going. And I just remember thinking in my head, I'm not ready to go yet. And immediately when I thought that, I was back in my body. And again, this happened in milliseconds, but it seemed like so long. I was back in my body and he was still shooting me. Like I could see the muzzle flash. But I knew when I came back and it was still happening, that I was gonna be okay.
County, shots fired. I'm hit and down. I need EMS ASAP.
County, all units respond. All units be en route to Sweetwater Drive at Grimble Road.
I got a head wound, an arm wound. I know that for sure. I can't see out my right eye.
Finally found him about 24 hours later in the floorboard of a car, along with the other 3 subjects that was with him. And then as the case unfolded and went on, Scarlett and her team were amazing. Like, to the victim's advocates, to her prosecutors and her leading the charge, they were amazing. They kept me up to speed as much as they could without divulging any information of what was going on in the case. Gave me expectations of when I was going on the stand, as far as just relax and just tell what happened, just answer the questions as truthfully and honestly as possible. Once we got the verdict and he was found guilty and sentenced, the judge gave me the opportunity to address him before he was taken away. And I just looked at him and I said, no amount of prison time matters, because he got 25 years, to my understanding. No amount of prison time is compared to eternity in hell. I said, I hope you use this time to ask for forgiveness from God and to change your life. I would carry this stone, they call it a prayer stone, and my wife gave it to me. And so each day, if there's something happened or if I was stressed or whatever, I could reach in my pocket and I could rub that prayer stone, just to, kind of give me that quick piece, or that ground me a little bit. And so I had thought nothing of it for over a year. And so after he was convicted and everybody was out, Scarlett addressed the court. She said, you know, it was a pleasure working this case. It was a tough case, but we got justice in this case. She pulled out that stone and she said he had this the day he was shot. So I want to give it back to him today.
Before trial, when I was going through some of the evidence, I came across Jeff's clothes, and there really was no reason to go through his clothes, but for some reason I did, and I found in his pocket a guardian angel stone. And I knew right then the significance that would have to Jeff, because I knew how devout he was, and I knew what it meant for that day, that was he and his faith had something to do with him surviving. It was a tough trial, and it was a whodunit, and we had lots of issues. So I didn't know for sure whether we would win or not. But I knew that I wanted him to have that back, and I hoped that when we got a guilty verdict, I'd be able to return it. And we did get a guilty verdict, and we got the maximum sentence. And in the courtroom, I gave it back to Jeff, because that's where it belonged, and he needed that to keep him safe.